Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. Welcome. We are live here with another Monday night show related to Newcastle United. We got Gary, we got Wynn, we got Roy should be coming at any point if Mighty Wynn got his tasks done correctly.
I've just told him.
I saw the text. I saw the chat. I'm free Mondays. 100%.
My goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Become a member if you can. Help us grow the channel that way if you can. And enjoy exclusive content. Shout out to Choppy, who just, not just, but the weekend became a NTTV Plus member. And he got to enjoy the Players Course. So that's one of the shows. Appreciate that. And anyway, and also Gary's full tactical analysis and full review of the game. Do you guys hear me good? I feel like I'm echoing.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
No,
good.
fine.
Anyways, hit the like button. And now we are here to talk about what's happened after everything simmered down over the weekend. Right now,
Enjoy your holiday, Sophie.
Yeah. Oh, Sophie's on holiday. Okay, there you go. There she is. And Sophie is a good participant of this channel, so she's been made a mod. So congrats, Sophie. And keep it coming. Keep the good work coming. Tell people how to subscribe, become members, hit the like button. You know, keep the chat going and flowing. And there we go. So Newcastle United right now third in the Premier League. The Premier League is over as in who's going to win it, pretty much. And
It's over.
it is.
Liverpool
It
have
is.
won it.
no,
done it.
Well, it is, but I'm saying we still got to play who's second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, exactly. So that's why. That's what I'm getting at. And 82 points for Liverpool. Congrats! I texted my Liverpool buddies all over the YouTube. If I haven't texted you, then that means you ain't my buddy. So congrats on the wonderful season. 82 points. You got to shake your hand. You got to shake their hand and say, man, well done. They certainly inherited a squad, Arne Slot, but you still got to go out there and be champion. You still got to get it done, and they did it. So, and that'll be fair. Good champion, Liverpool. It's they celebrate. They do their thing, but no talking shite. You know what I mean? Focusing on them.
I just wonder how they would fare if Salah got a bad injury.
Well, we would say the same thing about Tonali or
Well,
Isak.
exactly. No, but
that's how football works.
we've gone through that, and haven't won the championship. I just wonder.
Yeah. When you lose your best players, it's I'm telling you, if they lose Van Dijk, they're going to be lost as well.
Well, you look at City, without Haaland and without Rodri.
Yeah, that's what makes them the best teams.
How the mighty have fallen.
So Arsenal 67 points right now. Us with third with 62 points. We are breathing down their necks. Although 5 points. I think if we want to conquer second, that's gonna be. If we do that, that would be Arsenal's. That's their doomsday. I mean, that would really, I think, be a gut punch. If not lower, in a lower location than a gut punch. I mean, that would be disaster. I think that would be sackable. So look at that. Newcastle United could get Arsenal as manager sacked. There's not the first rodeo. Arteta's been doing this for a while now for Arsenal and just can't get it done. Cannot get it done. And at some point, it is what it is. Are you going to have another Arsene Wenger that just stays 30, 20 years and not much is done? So, but I think we have a good opportunity to do that.
Bear in mind, Austin Wenger stopped because he produced the Invincibles and won cups.
Well, yeah, that was in the beginning of the tenure, and they won the FA Cups. But it's not what. Once you do that, though, there's a different standard, a different limit, So they never met that. They never met it. They got close in the Champions League against Barcelona, but after that, that Invincible team won the Premier League, which is great. But what else did they win? It's tough. But Newcastle United could very much do it and finish second. I think the matchup against them is going to be massive.
Well, you're saying that. I mean, to me, you've only got to look at like Liverpool have racked up 25 victories this season, 24-25. Newcastle comes second with 19 wins so far. And then you look at the big rivals: Arsenal 18, Man City 18, Chelsea 17, to name the few. But I mean, to think about the record so far, I think he's absolutely outstanding. And we were talking the other day about Newcastle don't draw, and like I said, since the 3-3 on December the 4th against Liverpool, we seem to be a team that goes all out to win. And I think that has been a massive change in the approach to many games. If I'm honest, was it 20 games won now and only 7 defeats?
Yeah. I don't know if Wes, we only got 62 points.
We've won 20 out of 26.
26, yeah.
I don't know what's the
So one of those was obviously the Liverpool one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder what's the most amount of points we ever gotten. I think that question was we.
I think it was
brought it up.
94, wasn't it? In 94 in 96.
Right. So yeah, I mean we could beat it, but I mean, I think right now there's how many games? 4 games left. Then you got Brighton. I think Brighton. We beat Brighton, we're going to be in Champions League. I mean, we beat Brighton away. That's 65.
There's still Chelsea just nibbling away.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the biggie for me.
But to be fair, though, even if Chelsea keep winning or keep doing the thing, if we continue to do our thing, we're going to be all right. I mean, they're fighting for 5th spot.
Well, the point is Chelsea gone if we beat them.
Yeah, I say we need 6 points, really, don't we?
That's the massive game now.
Well, if they win over the weekend, they go to 63, and say they lose against us. I mean, if we continue to win, we're going to be worried about 2nd spot.
We don't have to worry about 2nd spot if we win. Well, we don't have to worry about Champions League if
well, that's what I'm saying.
If we win every game, Chelsea can't catch us.
I think it's more about Forest and
Villa.
Maybe that's crazy how Villa has fallen. But it just and they were talking shite too on X, man, about Aston Villa being the club, the only club or one of the few clubs, I don't know how they put it, but able to get to fight for a real trophy, which was the FA Cup, and man, they got it. That was a dig at Newcastle, by the way. And that's why you keep saying you want Aston Villa to win. They don't like us, man, and we don't like them. They're a good team. Some of them got good fans, but I don't want any other English team to win nothing.
Bigger picture.
No, it ain't no bigger picture. We're going to be in Europe.
It'll be a bigger picture if we finish 5th.
No.
Because we wouldn't be getting Champions League if it wasn't for English teams doing well.
No. None of them won anything, so it's just basically performing well. Yeah, that's fine. Get as far as you can, but don't win it. That's where I'm at. I don't want them to win a damn thing, because they're not going to say. I'm telling you, man, you better take a picture of other teams celebrating with Newcastle this season, because you ain't never going to see that ever again. They're not going to celebrate for us.
That doesn't bother me.
Well, no, but that's why I'm not wishing them to win nothing.
If everybody wants you to do badly, that's because you've arrived.
Exactly. So that's what I want.
As long as we arrive, I'll be happy.
Rashford is out. Yep, damaged for the season. Yeah, that's true. But I think that he's done well with them though. But yeah, 57 points that might not be enough. It depends on Forest, I guess, if you will. Forest have fallen down, man. But Europa for Forest, that's how it's all perception, because Europa for Forest will be amazing.
Any Europe for Forest is a good season, isn't it? Now, that's what you've got to think of. I mean, it's dreamland to think that they could go near relegation foders, PSL scruddle, and then deducted points to look where they are now. So some people would say it was worth having the points deduction last season.
Well, certainly Forest fans will tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
but
now
if they got relegated, if they hadn't managed to claw their way out of it last season, they wouldn't be saying that.
No, exactly.
I don't think they correlate though. I mean, the two. I think Forest could have done this without. Could have bought the players the right way is what I'm saying. And still be in this position doesn't mean you have to do it.
Well, they couldn't really, because the players they came up with, the players that got them promoted, were all on loan or end of contracts.
Yeah,
and
but
so they had to spend money.
I just refuse to make it all black and white. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I highly doubt that somebody that's in charge of a football team can say, "Hey, let's just take the deduction or risk it and just do it this way." I just don't see it. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, but
no, I think they gambled. If I'm honest with you, it was. I mean, I can't remember his name, the Greek owner, because they had to virtually. Well, they've bought virtually 2 teams to compete. If you remember when we played them in the Carabao, it was their second 11 that we played, and got the draw and then won on penalties. And even their second 11 gave us a game. So they haven't bought like big star names. They've bought really good workers with the like I say, and they've had some real luck in front of goal. To be fair, defensive wise, I mean Matt Sells has been in goal and kept the most clean sheets, I believe, this season. And like I say, for us, he was sponsored by Teflon. Nothing stuck, but it just proves when you've got a decent couple of defenders in front of you that are willing to throw the body on the line, what it can achieve.
Right. Yep. This win over the weekend was massive for us. Obviously, getting 3 points against a team that we needed to beat. We got the job done, and it was a little bit, I think, shocking how Ipswich came out in the beginning. I would say. I mean, they I think they punched us in the chin, pushed us back a little bit, and we weren't expecting that. But we obviously ended up overcoming that situation. So I thought it was pretty massive that now Newcastle, though, if you think about it, we are getting the points that we need to get. We're winning the games that we need to win. And that was a criticism of mine in the beginning, and now it seems to.
I'm just having a look. Since they got promoted, Forest, they spent 198 million first season, 127 million second season, and 105 million last season. And that 105 is really 130 because what we paid for Vlachodimos in the deal. So they've certainly done what other promoted clubs haven't done. They've shown ambition, and they're now reaping the rewards, and good on them.
A lot of those players have also performed, though. The unheard of players. So Chris Wood, nobody ever thought he was going to score that amount of goals that he scored. Sells, the same, to name a few. Ilanga was a reject from Man United. So they've done well themselves.
They're like us. It's a back four that have done the business for them. Anya and Milenkovic and Morello, in particular, have been outstanding for them.
Mm.
Yeah, but they've been lucky as well, Win. We said that. There's been so many teams knocking on the door and not actually finished, it was harder to miss. Yeah. And it seems that if they did, and like I say, I think Lady Luck has to shine on you.
To get something. But we've been saying that all season. They're going to drop. They're going to drop. They're going to drop. As everybody as everybody was saying when we were up there.
Yeah, but eventually they did drop. So what are you talking about?
Well, they haven't dropped that far. They're still in Champions League place.
No, they're not. Not technically. Right now they're like in Europa, man.
Right now they're fifth.
Which is a great. No, they're not sixth, because the difference of goals that counts.
Sorry, they've got a game in hand, though.
Yeah. What game in hand? Did they?
They play Bournemouth on Thursday.
Yeah. So
they go above us.
Bournemouth are not a
Bournemouth, they go above us.
Yeah, but Bournemouth are not a bad team.
Yeah, Brentford. Sorry, man, Brentford.
Okay. Well, Brentford are gone. Not going really. Still just below Bournemouth actually. So they're not a bad team. I don't think it's going to be as easy as it seems. And at this point, Forest has pressure that they never had before. And so that's the issue. That's the thing.
That is the issue.
So
again, it's the same old adage, isn't it? How do they react after the cup loss? I think they got they were expecting the final. I would imagine with it being a really good season for them, and it would have capped like us. It would have capped the season for them to have reached the final, and who knows? Then it literally is the luck of the draw who wins the final. But I think that now is going to be the mental race. Can they come back from that defeat and still continue their form in the Premier League?
And the great comment by Jonathan, I forgot about it. What's the difference between Burnley? Did Burnley spent a lot of money, over 100 million.
Yeah, they did.
And Kompany just said, which is the biggest, I don't know what to call it in football, that you relegate a Burnley team and you go to Bayern Munich. That means somebody's getting paid. So but that's why Sean Dyche was on TalkSport some time ago talking about how he doesn't understand football anymore because he I don't know if did he manage Burnley? Or did he not? Yeah, he did. They spent a lot less, and he was able to. I don't even know if he's the one that got him promoted or what was happening.
Yeah, he got them promoted originally, and then they got them up to about 10th.
Exactly. So, and then that in Kompany gets and he was saying that he didn't get all this money. He asked, but he didn't get none of this. And Kompany, maybe because of his reputation as a footballer, was able to get all this money, and they gave it to him, and he got him relegated. So Roy Cavian is in the building with his Arab timing.
Well, I thought it was 3 hours difference. Turns out it's 2.
Yeah, man.
Because the boys are 1 hour ahead. And all I remember was 3 p.m. kickoff was 6 p.m. And then there you go. Doesn't matter.
Anyway. So we're doing actually Newcastle are doing amazing. If you think about where we are as far as since the takeover, it is by any means is not a coincidence. The direction that the club has been going is because there was a change of literally direction of what it was with Mike Ashley on the club. And third right now, Newcastle staying on the top of even last season, which was a bad season with injuries. We're still able to manage 7th in almost Europe. Could have had it, and that would have been 3 times in a row. I don't even know. Well, maybe in the 90s we did that 3 times in a row. But regardless, we're up there, man. And Roy, you did join us for the match reaction to get your takes on the game. So we did that. But what do you guys think? I mean, a lot of people in the chat saying that Brighton is going to be the one that they're scared of. And
I think if we win our 2 home games, just, bearing in mind one of them's against Chelsea, if we win those 2 games, Champions League's guaranteed.
Yeah, same here.
Mm-hmm.
If we win those 2, Villa are going to need to win every single game, and then Chelsea are going to play Forest last game.
I think Brighton is it.
But I think Brighton scored a lot of goals, but they conceded on average 2 goals in the last 6 games or 7 games, I think. So they concede a high number of goals. So we'll score goals. We've struggled in the last 2 games anyway. But we should score.
You've got to go down in the table. You've got to go down to Wolves to find somebody who's conceded more goals than Brighton.
Than Brighton. Yeah. But the thing is, though, over there, I don't even. What's crazy about going away to Brighton? I don't even remember nothing of it. Like I just feel like we'd never play there.
We never beat them.
No, it's a bogey side for us.
I just can't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Even in the Championship.
Yeah. Always been a dodgy ground to go to for us. Yeah. The Amex.
For some reason. And they've had some good results up here as well.
They have.
That's
Very good.
100%. That's 100%.
I mean, it was a snatch and grab, wasn't it? The 1-0.
Yeah.
And then
from Welbeck.
I remember them knocking us out of the FA Cup when they used to be. I'm not sure they were in the Championship or League 2 or League 1 or something. We actually sent them Lua on loan. Lua Junior on loan.
Kazima.
Yeah, and they still beat us.
Yeah. Well, we sent them Minte not too long ago, and they still beat us. They don't even take it easy on us after giving them a good player. Question though, I have a question about Osula. Should he, in this last 4 games, see any more time that he's been given? He certainly scored a really good goal, a really good header. And I mean, speaking with the media after, he's obviously thankful of the fans, giving them love and all of that. Which, by the way, we'll post a video about that tomorrow, so stay tuned. But firstly, he thanked God, his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the mighty win will never ever do in his life. Shame on you, man. But it's interesting because this lad is really creeping up as far as people are noticing him. I mean, some of us noticed him before. He should get some more minutes. But Win is always about Eddie Howe. He knows best, and everything. Whatever Eddie Howe tells him to do, he'll do it.
Correct.
Which is kind of weird, by the way. But anyway, what do we do with Osula? I mean, he's literally the second best striker we got.
Well, I will now officially say he should. The very least he should get is more minutes than Wilson.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't have subscribed to previously.
Yeah, I think you've got to give credit where credit's due there, because I don't think Osula probably would have got the header if Wilson hadn't done it. A nice little, not pushing the back, but he showed his presence into the back of the defender.
The thing about that was as well, of course, we actually went 4-4-2 when he came on. Now then, there's a persistent rumour going round that Isak is carrying an injury, which is affecting his performances.
Who told you that?
That's coming from all over the place. Everybody's saying it.
I was thinking that until the last game, but I think it's some.
Why did I haven't heard of that.
Well, it's all come from this groin, hasn't it? Since he had that niggle with his groin, he seems to have taken a step off the pace. He's not running through the channels like he was previously. And I don't know whether they're asking him to play at like 80% because he just doesn't look at the races to me. I mean, he was getting himself into some great positions. I mean, he should have had another hat-trick the weekend against Ipswich. I mean, it was there, for all to see. But he tried the hard stuff rather than, like the one, again, the scorpion kick. He could have took a touch. And placed it into the net. Because, I mean, Palmer, I don't know what the hell their keeper was doing.
Well,
what was that about,
By the way, I've looked at that now umpteen times.
What, Bruno's?
And even Dermot Gallagher said
on Ref Watch.
On Ref Watch.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get into next, because he had a few things to say about. And by the way, I thought that goal should have stood. He's just standing there.
Literally all the keeper goes into him.
And actually, he gets pushed, but his teammate pushes Bruno a little bit, and then he obviously has to. What is he going to do? He can't just transport himself somewhere else. So I think that they need to take a look at this stuff, man, because it's crazy. Now that we got VAR, you can actually go and look and see that somebody pushed Bruno a little bit, and that's what.
He did go and look. That's what's worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There should be He's always going to be.
At that. They didn't look at that at all, because if you look at the guidelines,
if you're looking at the goal.
Yeah, well, if you look at the guidelines, VAR will only look at an on-field decision if it's a penalty or a red card, as Win has already told me. But if it's a clear and obvious, or a goal, or a clear and obvious error, right?
So it was a goal. So he went to VAR though.
Yeah. So what they said was, they won't overrule the on-field decision because that's what's spoiling the game.
No, hold on. I don't know the. I think he called it a goal, and then they went to look at it.
No, he called a foul.
No, he didn't.
He called a foul straight away.
He called a foul straight away.
But he went to look at it. So what did he go to look at then?
No, he didn't go to look at that. He went to look at Murphy.
Yeah, he went to have a look at the pull on the shirt of Murphy, didn't he? So
for what? No. He didn't go to look at the
penalty.
At the goal.
No.
He went up to VAR. He went up to VAR, and VAR said, "We'll go on with the on-field decision."
Well, that is stupid, man.
And that's what I said.
But I know that's a rule,
stupid.
but it is stupid because it is a goal involved, and just as if it could have been a foul, and but it still would have been a legit goal. You still got to go look at it because it's unfair, either or. If it's something that has been done.
By the way, I've changed my mind on the Murphy one because now that I've seen that a few times, it is definitely penalty.
I don't think it is.
Anyway. I think it was mega soft.
It's very soft.
It's mega soft, man. I tell you what, man. If that is handed against us, man, I'm not. You got to maintain, be objective, man, because I would have been livid if that would have been given to us against Liverpool. We would have been saying the cartel, corruption, and all of that BS. So we can't have it both ways.
But players do go to ground so much easier when they're in the white lines of the penalty area.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's really never going to not happen unless you really start enforcing the yellow cards, which the referee did in one of those occasions where he gave a yellow card to Johnson, was it? They got sent off later on.
Yeah, he died. He did deserve.
I think he got contact as well. I think Burn contact.
Did you
no,
listen
no
to?
contact.
Did you listen to the post-match commentary? Well, it was on Match of the Day, where he said, when you're going at full force, he didn't think that Johnson was cheating. He said when you're travelling at speed, he pushed the ball past Burn, but Burn's a big fella, and when he pushes his leg out, in your mindset, you're expecting the collision, if you like. So straight away, you to protect yourself, you change your body shape. I mean, it's BS. It really is BS.
Who said he wasn't cheating?
That was Joe.
The keeper. What was his?
Joe bloody.
Yeah.
Joe Hart.
Hart.
Come on, man. The fucking England international, man. What's
wrong
with
I know. He doesn't play in black and white. I ain't bloody interested, mate.
But Well, I mean, I thought you said that the referee said that. I mean, if the referee said that, then why you give him a yellow card, right? I mean, but obviously it didn't happen that way. So.
No. It was Joe Hart. It was just discussing it afterwards, and he says he doesn't think he was cheating. And I'm sorry, but it's cheating all day long when you're pushing yourself to that extent.
And when we do that, we get into speculation, like what he was thinking and what he was doing. And if we're going to get into that thing, that we don't know what people are thinking.
Well, the referee might as well keep his cards in his pocket and say, well, if that's what you was thinking, mate, there is no point in me giving you a card, is there?
Exactly. We'll never know what the guy was thinking, so it's kind of pointless.
What the point I was making anyway before we got onto all of that was when we were on about Usula.
We're still on it. You guys deviated because you don't want to answer the damn question.
No, but what I'm suggesting is, how's about Brighton pull a rabbit out of the hat? No, we've still got no J7, so let's go 4-2-4.
Man, that ain't never going to happen, man. Eddie Howe will never change his formation. He's done it twice this season.
Because every time, other than this time when he scored, every time Asula has been put on, it's been
on the right.
Well, no, but he's been a lone centre forward.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but that is the manager's decision. I mean, he can change that decision. He can say, "I can put."
He played him on the right against Birmingham.
I'm going to say he played him on the right the weekend.
He scored. Well, he played on the right the first time he scored, and it was a great goal.
He took Harvey Barnes.
No, but I'm talking about playing Barnes on the left, Murphy on the right, and Isak and Asula through the middle.
And Ian Gordon.
Well, Gordon's got to fight for his place at the minute.
Well, I've said it already. I think Gordon needs to be starting next game.
Joelinton with
Well, you said he was going to start against.
I would do that, I said. And I think he will eventually, by the way, so you might as well wake up.
Well, I think he's a better player than Barnes.
I don't think that
More effective
player
than Barnes.
No. How do you measure that? More effective? He's got more goals than Barnes. Got more goals than Gordon. And what has Gordon's got? Your numpty stats. That's it. Where do you measure effectiveness on?
I use my eyes.
Well, that's what I do, and I keep telling y'all that. When you tell me, look at the stats, look at the no. I'm not going to go on the limb and say, first of all, because limbs are really small and thin. I'm not going to go on a limb because of that. But I'm also not going to go on a limb because Barnes and Gordon. I see the talent in Gordon. He needs to fix his head. But Barnes is also, he's a proper. I'm not going to say who's better. But I think that we could be.
I'll just ask you, who was any other club going to pay the most money for? Gordon or Barnes?
But that is actually irrelevant.
Well, is it?
It is, because you can pay whatever you want. If I really want a player, Man United paid. How much did they pay for Anthony?
It doesn't matter.
80
no,
million.
it does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's a question of clubs will pay more money for players that they value more highly, and I'm telling you that they would pay more money for Gordon.
Look, even
right
Google
now than they would for Barnes.
Even Google already replaces the question for me, because I'm sure some Man United fans have been Googling this left and right. Man United paid $82 million to Ajax for Anthony. $82 million. You're gonna tell me that that's what he's worth? No. Now he might be, because he's playing good at Betis, but at the moment he wasn't worth that. So people would just pay whatever they want or ask whatever they want. I agree with you that eventually it has something to do with it, but you can't use that and say that's it. That's why he's a better player. You know what I mean? That's my opinion anyway.
Well, can't. I can't.
So okay, so you do agree then Anthony is worth £82 million. That's fine.
No, I don't.
So then you're speaking out of both ends of your mouth, man.
No.
You're just saying.
So this year he's had 30 appearances, Anthony Gordon, 2,211 minutes played, 6 goals, 5 assists. And when you look at Harvey Barnes, who obviously he wouldn't have played anywhere near those minutes.
Exactly. That's what
29 appearances, 1,410 minutes played, 9 goals, 4 assists.
Look, look at Barnes' season, right? And then we're going to go to Roy, because Roy wants to say something.
Of the play.
No. Look at Barnes' season right there. In the beginning, he was the most effective player because he had the most goals scored until Isak woke up. And then he became second for a long time. And he wasn't even playing. He was still having that second most goals season. And I'm pretty sure right now he is.
Calm down.
No. I'm passionate, man. We're not fighting.
Peruvian passion.
We just got passion, man. That's what we need in the channel, passion. But Roy, say something, man, because you wanted to say something before we.
For me, between the two, I'll go Barnes all day now until Gordon's form is back. And I'm not talking for Gordon from this season, Gordon from last season. Maybe as an option, you can play Barnes as a 10.
Well, you were saying that before, Roy, and I think if you look at the last few games, especially when Barnes has come on, I think the adjustment that Eddie Howe has made and the boys have literally, it's adapted more to Barnes' style of football than it has Gordon's style of football. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing you can see from this season. For me, we talk this, we say about this fluid 4-3-3. It's not a static 4-3-3. He doesn't want anybody to stay in position. He wants them all to cover each other's backside when they move forward. So when you look at the likes of Tino, now if you have a look at our dominance on that left-hand side with the Tino and Harvey Barnes relationship compared to Hall and Gordon's relationship, we are now dominating that literally left-hand panel from the halfway line to the goal line, all the way along. Now, that's not me saying, that's stats. That's that tell you the dominance in that area. It was only 2 with Hall and Gordon. The biggest problem for me with the likes of Gordon, I don't think this new fluid style. Gordon likes to get down the line. He's got pace, and then once he takes the player or the defender away from their position because of his pace, he then has the ability, because he's nimble, he's slim, to cut back onto his good foot. He wrong foots the defender, and that gives him the opportunity then to shape a ball into the far corner. That's his motto. That's his MD now. I think, for me, what Harvey Barnes brings you is like you said, he plays in that 10 slot, and it's more the inside left position, but he comes so central now. Isak's got company all the time. Isak, I mean, apart from Ipswich the weekend, I hadn't seen Isak for the last few games come deep. He did against Ipswich because of the low block. He just tried to get involved in the game. He tried to pull some of their defenders out of the way. But at the end of the day, you can see that relationship has got a lot stronger. And what we've got now with Harvey Barnes in the side is a lot more balance on the right-hand side because we actually move up as a unit now rather than individually.
One thing that Harvey Barnes gives you as well that I think is forgotten now in football, before we move on to the next quick topic, is that he does something that I think in today's football is like shocking. It's just it never happens, and it almost takes an astronaut to figure this out, which is just pause and think. Everybody just runs and runs and runs. We got 100-meter runners, 50-meter runners. That's what Win wants, in football. Just wings. You just keep on going. You just keep running outside, like Forrest Gump. Run out the stadium instead of just pause, think. He did that a lot, actually, as an example, against Ipswich. He cut back, looked, let his brain work, and then crossed the ball. And that's what we had that's when Isak started, because he was asleep the whole game until Harvey Barnes got him going with those little lobs in there. And, he got Isak going as well. Obviously, the penalty and all that happened. But, I think he's a thinker, and sometimes you need that. I mean, you can't just have all runners. You need a thinker in the game. Quickly about the referee, or what Sky Sports pundits were talking and saying, some of them say that, I think Stephen Warnock says that he doesn't understand why it wasn't given a goal. Bruno just stands his ground. He just stands there, doesn't do anything. And we were talking on that, though, about the game now and VAR, that they don't step in, or they didn't step in that play. Nobody really cares if it happens the second week in the Premier League, but right now where everything counts, trust me, man, a goal not given or given, it's tough to take. If they just I don't want to go to the VAR because whatever rule. I think they need to take a look at this, man. Justice need to be justice, not just.
Well, we need to do a show on VAR, because the way I would work VAR is don't leave it up to the gods to decide when VAR. Leave it up to the coaches. And the coaches get, like American football, 2 challenges. If they see an incident that they think has gone wrong, and it doesn't have to be a goal or a red card, or it can be anything. If they think the referee's got it wrong, they can challenge the ref. And VAR then have a look at it. Mm-hmm. If they get it right, and the ref overturns his decision, they keep that challenges.
I think
2 per half, and again, that cuts out the number of times that VAR is getting involved. Because if the coach decides he's going to challenge because he thinks they've got it wrong, and they get it wrong, well, it's a valuable challenge lost. And that means the most you ever get in the game, well, you could theoretically get 2 from both managers in each half. But they're going to be very careful before deciding that they're going to, appeal. And it's the same. And it works in cricket. It works in tennis. It works every other sport. So why not football?
It could work, but
product I would recommend.
I blame that on English fans. I like y'all, appreciate y'all, and I think you guys are great. But it's your fault. You look at VAR and think, oh my God, or you look at the way some American sports are run and think, oh my God, it's the end of football. It's the end of English culture. They're taking the English bulldog away from us. They're taking it. Just open mind. Be open mind. Mighty Win. He learned how to be open minded. Now he's got OnlyFans. He got TikTok. He's got everything open. You know, he said something about going back
I
door.
hope he's got something closed.
Means nothing to me.
He went through the back door, and then he loves it. And so, you know, I guess he got a new back door or
gets through
something.
my back door, bunny lad.
And so, you know, got to be open-minded because if we keep thinking that it's just football is what it is, and the fact of the matter is it would be that if they didn't introduce VAR, but they did. And now VAR is raising more questions than anything.
Once you've opened Pandora's, but once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And the next thing will be the 60-minute stop clock. Bring it on.
And Broski
Because, I mean, that time wasting that Ipswich were doing on Saturday was a joke. On average, they reckon it was over 35 seconds for every goal kick, throw-in, corner, free kick, every stoppage, 35 seconds.
Yeah. By the way, Premier League Team of the Week came out. We got a few stars in there. Kieran Trippier making the team on the right
My
back.
man of the match.
Man.
Ooh, Kieran Trippier.
He got a 10.
He got a 10
He
from
got a
both
10.
of us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
man.
man of the match, closely followed by Tonali for me, because he covered so many corners from corner to corner. Tonali, when Trippier went forward, he just sat in the space. Because if you look to the way Ipswich play, and again, did a Villa on us, you know, tried to isolate both Trippier and Fabian Schär with Delap, trying to get that pace in and behind. Didn't quite work, though.
We're going to get into some of these questions about VAR at the end, so bear with us quickly. So the goalkeeper was Jose Zá from Wolves, right back Kieran Trippier. Then you got center back Chalobah from Chelsea, who was linked to us in the beginning of the season. Didn't come. Carlos Baliba from Brighton. We're going to have to meet him at some point.
Because he had that fluky shot that went in.
Left back was Ryan Sessegnon.
Well, he shouldn't be listed as a right back. He's officially a right back, but he plays on right wing. So it's a bit...
sorry.
Win back.
And left back was the Ryan guy from Fulham. Midfield was Alexis McAllister from Liverpool. And good stuff. And midfield also Sandro Tonali, Pipiri Papiri was in the midfield. And he's always going to be there, though. That's the problem. You know, it's just regular housework for Sandro Tonali, who had
hopefully
a shot.
He's there in the next 2 games.
Who probably had the most celebrated almost goal in the history of football. You could see it, too, man. You can see it was just painted. It's Picasso, man, how he just went, boom, right into that corner. Almost there, man. Unbelievable.
He's our best player.
He's the best player. And I tell you, man, he is the best midfielder I've ever seen. He's the best. I mean, best midfielder definitely, but he can go on and say he's one of the best players ever played for Newcastle United.
If you tell me lose him or Isak,
he's got to do it. He's got to do it for a couple of seasons yet. But
yeah, well, I'm telling you, that midfield. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, Mateus Cunha from Wolves.
Yeah, he's on fire. Him.
He is on fire, and we'll see. People want him as well, you know. So we need other clubs. So and actually, most goals scored by a Brazilian player in a single Premier League campaign was all 15 between Firmino, Martinelli, and Mateus Cunha. So there you go. Martinelli, look at the way Martinelli's in there. You hate him. You think he's rubbish.
Cunha is better than Martinelli.
Overrated.
Well, he could be. Well, I just told you, man. What the stat? Jared Bowen. So that's a good one from West Ham. Weird, actually. Team of the week for a team that's not really relevant.
Still my number one target if it was possible. I was hoping West Ham were going to get dragged into that relegation fight.
Yeah. Ryan Aitnouri from Wolves. And center forward has been Isak is not there. Obviously, he hasn't been looking his sharpest. No. But Jørgen Strand Larsen, is he Swedish?
Yeah, he plays for Wolves.
Another Swede, from Wolves, man. How many goals he's been scoring?
He got 1. Yeah, he just got 1.
Come on,
I mean, he's all huff and puff.
A bit of a donkey, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all huff and puff.
To say that about the Premier League center forward of the week, man. But he probably is. Anyways, I want to get into this question.
Everybody has one good game now and then.
He's scored, I think, 5 or 6 in the last 5 or 6 games.
Yeah. All right, let's go with this question, and this question goes for everybody, including the chat. So please answer this, and try to be objective, man, because I know, there's a problem having a biased channel. You really don't get that, or not even an unbiased channel, because everybody just votes for whoever they follow. But actually, I do think this is a yes for me, and I will explain when it's my time to answer the question. Craig Hope put this up on the Daily Mail Plus. You got to be a member for that, but to even read it, I'm not even going to go through the article. But the question, I think, is a good question to have a conversation on, which is, should Eddie Howe be in the running? He should be in the running, but should he be the manager of the year for the Premier League this season? I want to say yes. And if you want to be technical about it, then Carabao Cup don't count. But I think that, I look at it more of the year, the whole year, although it's just for the Premier League. And I want to say yes, simply because of the limitations. No other manager that's actually gotten to the promised land has had the limitations this season than he has. He's made a lot of mistakes, trust me. But he was able to turn the ship around, aside from the plastic fans like Mighty Wind that wanted him to put Longstaff over Tonali. Eddie said, I need my job, so I'm going to steer towards the right way, towards the bright side. And he started putting Tonali in. He started getting games. Isak. So, he's got things that you can have a discussion on things that he can better of his managerial career. But I think that it would be deserving for him to get the manager of the year. I don't know any other. I mean, you can say Arne Slot, but Arne did inherit a squad that was a good squad. Although I still believe that he doesn't. I don't think he's getting the credit from other fans that he should, because I think Arne. I mean,
he's done a good job.
Well, he's going to get all the credit from me.
And I'll tell you what, he's won the league with 82 points. Look at the margin right now. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you say Arne Slot, but I think Eddie could have a very, very big push.
If he finishes third, then
or second. If he finishes second, man.
That second's not happening, man. It's not happening.
I don't know.
Yeah. When 20 points to Arsenal, about 6.
It's possible. It's possible. We've got Arsenal to play. And they're concentrated. They've got one objective now, and that's Champions League.
They'll have to lose a game, and then we win our 2, and then when we play them, beat them.
Well, we've got to win. We've got to win all 4.
All 4,
which includes them and Chelsea, of course.
And if we do that,
but I've still got my fingers crossed.
The thing is, I'm not bothered if Eddie gets it or not. I'm not bothered about anything.
No,
I just want to be top 5.
I tell you what, I think Nunes has got a shout as well.
Yeah, am I?
Yeah, if they go top 5 as well.
Well, he definitely got a shout. I mean, actually, if you use my thought process, then simply because the Carabao Cup is not the Premier League, then you can actually give it to Nuno. But if they're finished 7th, I don't know. I mean,
I think it depends. If Forest finished Champions League from what he inherited, and the job he's done there, and we've all been saying, this is going back to the argument that should Eddie Howe got manager of the year in 22-23.
He could have gotten
Carabao Cup final, Champions League from where we were.
Yeah, but Carabao supposedly don't count, so.
Well, we didn't win it. If he'd won it, would he have got it? I still don't think he would have done.
No, but it's not supposed to count.
But for to go to Pep, you know.
For the 20th time. But see, that's the thing right there, though. With Pep, I'm sure they did have the Champions League in consideration. I'm sure that's the year that they won it.
Yeah.
So when they shouldn't, right? So that is the thing. I think they do in the back of their minds do take account of what's happened somewhere else. I think if they do, which I think they do, they need to count the Carabao. Winning a trophy and breaking the spell, I think that's a big deal.
But here's the thing. What if Arteta wins the Champions League?
Oh, my God, bro. Fucking well, that's one way that he's not going to get sacked. But either way, manager of the year. But it shouldn't count.
He'll deserve it if he gets it.
Well, I mean, the title is Premier League Manager of the Year.
Well, it might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
So
I think there's
obviously
2
the
awards.
Premier League is going to be heavily weighted in that regard, isn't it?
It has to be. But I'm surprised actually of you guys. None of you give it entertaining Eddie Howe, which
Eddie Howe's on the podium without a doubt.
But let's have a look at Eddie Howe's. Just again, this is stats for this season. He's 2 points per game, 61.9 win percentage, just under 2 goals per match, 1.93, and just over a goal conceded a game at 1.17. If you compare that to Liverpool and Arne Slot, 2.22 points per game, 68.89% win percentage, just over 2 goals scored, and under 1 goal conceded per match. So, I mean, like you said, it is very heavily contested. But you compare the 2 teams and the money's spent over years. So, you see, the biggest problem is none of these people that judge these things ever look at where you've come from to where you are now. They just look at the performance that you've done through that one season. But he's definitely in the running.
Good question by Craig.
Pardew got it though once when we finished 5th. They gave
Fifth,
it
yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't count the FA Cup, but if Crystal Palace win the FA Cup against City,
well, there you go. And what a job he's done since he went to Palace. I mean, they got off to an abysmal start when they were trying to get over life without Elise, but since then, they are the form team just about of the division. They're second behind Liverpool.
Apart from when they come to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Have they got any of the team? I think they play. They've got Forest, I think, one of the games.
Yeah.
Is it? And
they
play Villa or not?
Well,
they don't play Chelsea.
They got a draw at Arsenal. They got a draw at Bournemouth. They got smashed off us, obviously, and smashed off City, which put a proper stick in their spokes. And then they've got Forest.
Yeah. We got a question here from James, sorry. Only one manager has won the manager of the season. Can you name him and the year? Alan Pardew, man.
Alan Pardew, 11-12.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to remember. But I think I had thought that I didn't know it was the only one though. I thought that Robson didn't win one.
No.
That's crazy.
No, he's had loads of manager of the month, but no.
Even Keegan didn't win one when we finished second.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Interesting. I don't know what year. What was it when we finished 5th?
11-12.
11-12, yeah.
Yeah, when we finished, I can't remember that season clearly because that's the only season we ever got to the top.
To be fair, he did well with an Ashley side. I'll tell you now,
Pardew was proper man.
Yeah,
I'm telling
crazy.
you.
Especially
he always
the
has
headbutt.
good love for the Toon.
That was the season after.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was against Hull.
Hull, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, listen. I tried to bring in some love for Eddie Howe, but nobody bit the debate, man. Even Mighty win, unbelievable, man. That's why you're as fake as a doll's butt, man. I tell you. It's unbelievable, man. This flip-flopping that you do all the time, man. You don't want to go in. You don't want to take one for the team, man, for your man. Unbelievable, man. Another question, because we run out of time.
I am objective.
Yeah. Oh, that's the first time we bring in the soundboard. Anyway, question, because I forgot about this one. Joe Willock, he's been impressing, but not for the good, but for the bad. He's just not answering the call. I mean,
nope.
He should have had a good opportunity to take on the game this weekend, and I don't think he performed well at all.
It was. What do we give him? We gave him 6, didn't we? I think we gave him 6.
He's not answering the Call of Duty though. That's the problem.
We give him 6. Yeah.
He's the problem. Same thing with Osula. I wouldn't even bring this up unless he was. But he's getting minutes over other players that could get an opportunity, like Miley.
Well, Miley did really well when he came on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he did. But again, this is what we were saying. It's you're forcing a shift of position. So you've got to ask yourself as a coach, who's my best 11 in what position? Because Once you've lost J7 in that inside or left centre midfield, however you want to pronounce it, you've then got to find a suitable candidate. Now we've both seen Longstaff have a go there. He doesn't do it. We've seen Miley have a go there. He doesn't do it. It's something to do with the headstrong, that they're working off their wrong foot in their mindset. But I think the more times you play players there, the better they become. You don't become a bad player overnight. We know what Miley can bring to the side. When Miley came on, and you're absolutely right, Winnie had a great game when he came on. But then you shifting Bruno over to the left-hand side.
He was doing all his work on the right-hand side.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You can do it, and he can play it. But again, I think I was disappointed with Willock because, but again, I do sometimes think that the tactic from Ipswich nullified what the original tactic from Eddie Howe would have been, and that was to dominate that left-hand side. They countered all of our players over to that left-hand side, using Ciso to come back and also block that channel with Johnson dropping as a 5 at the back. And if you look, the reasons why we got so good on that right-hand side was because all the bodies were shifted over to the left. And I think what happened with Willock was he was stuck. And then, if you noticed, he started to run diagonal channels into the right-hand side to try and overload in certain areas, supporting Murphy and Trippier. So for me, I just think it was one of them games. He couldn't get into the game for the first 25, 30 minutes, but he seemed to, he started to do a little bit, but he certainly wasn't, it didn't blow me frock up.
Yeah. Is Willock's injuries messing with his mindset? Well, if it is, man, he's going to have to get over it. I mean, look, man, it sounds hard, it sounds whatever, but you need to go to the psychologist.
He's not the midfielder we need, put it that way.
He's a squad player at best now, anyway.
Yeah, so, okay, then, so if we put the standards where they
we seem to be losing everybody. Is it just me, or everybody's?
I think it's you, Gary. So, if that's the standard, then that's what we need to lower the standards for him. The expectations, rather said, then that's fine. But, I think people still expected him to be something that he's not.
Well, in exactly the same way that I've said, for me now, Asula should be first replacement for Isak, so should Miley
for Joelinton
be in for J7.
Yeah, but that's settled in.
I think Willock's had his chance.
Especially away from home as well.
That does involve moving Bruno to the left.
Yeah, but, I mean, Tonali plays there for the Italian side, but the job that Tonali does for Newcastle is instrumental. He's the conductor. Yeah, exactly. So by moving Bruno over to the left-hand side, in actual fact, as you saw against Ipswich, it doesn't change anything. We were still very offensive. We were still in control of that midfield. It makes no difference for me, and you're absolutely right. But I think, the biggest problem for me this season is we're asking a lot from players that have had very little playtime. Willock hasn't had a lot of playtime. He's come on for the odd spits because he's had his injuries, he's gone out again. But when he's come on board and he started the games, he's looked okay. Look at the Forest game. He looked electric until that injury. He was the one that I thought was going to, breaking them lines, was going to be the one that moves us forward in this Premier League season. And unfortunately, he's gone backwards since the injury.
Yeah.
All right.
The other thing I would say is that can we get Eddie to break this 4-3-3?
Well,
he's done it twice this season. So.
My job to...
no, he's done it twice against Arsenal when we went to a back five. That's not quite what I'm talking about. I'm talking about literally trying...
Small tweaks. All it needs is small tweaks.
Hey, win.
I think Miley has got an incredible football brain. I think he could form a magical partnership with Tonali because they're both on the same wavelength in terms of they want to pass the ball first time, every time. They always find their man. And I think him and Tonali could work brilliantly together.
Yeah. And let me, when you ask a question about how can we get Eddie, we don't. It's not our job to do it. The job of a judge is not to persuade people not to commit crimes, but to judge them, and that's what we're here to do, man. Put the sentimentality away, old man. And he's not, by the way, going away from that 4-3-3. You better.
Nothing the matter with my sentimentality, kid.
You better move.
I think there's only one way he'll change it. It's if we get a proper number 6 or a proper number 10.
Man, you got to prove number 6. Trust me.
Well, he said he didn't want a number 6.
Anyways, last subject,
So,
ladies and
he needed
gents.
10.
This is not a rumor. This is not a link. This is not really, well, maybe because he was rumored before, but Noel Gallagher, he's a Man City fan, and he just mentioned he proposed, I guess talking to, I don't know, Talksport or whoever, that Jack Grealish is probably going to leave Man City, and one of the teams that he said he might be good for is Newcastle United. So, what do you guys think? By the way, if he leaves City, he's not going to be on that money that we're talking about, that he's on. So, using common sense, because he obviously is like Rashford. When he left, he knows that Aston Villa is not going to pay him that amount of money. He knows he's going to come down, have to come down. So, but at this point, though, I don't know that the left side is too much traffic on the left
Too
side.
good on the left. So,
left, he's not going to get in for Hull. Not going. Now, what does it? What does it say for?
Villa if I was him.
Well, might do so. But I'm saying, we say we need depth in squad, and so a squad.
Not another left winger. Nah.
Yeah, that would be yeah.
And he's not. I don't think he's better than any of the two we've got.
Yeah, probably not.
300K a week.
No, you got it.
No
the
chance.
first thing I said about money, and the first thing
If I was him, I
can
wouldn't
you
even
believe that, man? Listen, man, I'm talking to a wall with this guy, man. This common sense that he probably will move down from that, obviously.
Till 2027.
Yeah, 2 more years. If I was him, I wouldn't leave. I would just sit there with Pep and say, "Look, mate, I'm staying here, and you're going to pay me $300 a week."
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's not a joke. It's a legitimate question. So just answer that question.
There's every chance he could go back to Villa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Villa aren't strong on that left-hand side when it comes to numbers. So if Villa could afford his wages and he was willing to drop back down to that standard again, I mean, as in wages, I mean, he loved the club. You look at some of the talk. I mean, he said he pinched himself when Man City came in for him because he was playing so well. But again, he's such a bit player. You just never know what Grealish is going to turn up.
Unfortunately, I think he is I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things. But like Joelinton, he's now become the referee's number one man to watch every game. Well, I don't know if it's fair or not for Jack Grealish, but his nightlife is something that, I mean, people. I go out at night here and. When I go to Nashville, I'm looking for Jack Grealish to come out of a bar somewhere. So, and I think that distraction won't be good. It's unfortunate, but he does it himself. He does it himself.
Jonathan's just put a question in.
Well, apart from Rashford at Villa, who's on 225K, the highest earner is the three highest earners: Martinez, Tielemans, and Kamara, all on 150. He ain't going to drop to 150.
Yeah. That's why I think he'll stay at City.
Yeah,
he might do so. He might do
you
so.
You talked about J7 just, and I said Jonathan put this in. He's missed 31 games since last season. At the next couple of games to that. So, are you concerned about J7?
I think J7's physicality takes a toll, and by the way, he's gotten injured a lot. People don't think about it, but he does. So. That's why you need that Lewis Miley.
Since he done that knee, the knee ligament, or the knee tendon, I should say, he's been a player that's running at 95%. Again, I think he holds back. He's held back a lot this season, and he's still having issues with this knee. Hence, he's gone to see the specialist again. So it could be something that's a long-term problem. This. So, and he's just signed his contract, so could be a problem for Newcastle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's go with some of the comments here, and then we'll call it a day. Jonathan Wenger Invisibles was nearly a decade after he took the job. Wenger changed the Premier League forever. Ooh. Good manager. Stephen Field, Chelsea home must win, but 2 wins will do it, I think.
Win the next 2 and we're done.
Yeah.
Chameleon, I'm nervous about the next game against Brighton. I don't think you're the only one.
A point is not a disaster, though.
No.
Alan Thompson.
7 points definitely does it.
Alan Thompson by Arab timing. Brighton went on to the FA Cup final. Stefan Mills got listen to disallowed goals. There you go.
Yep. That was the famous game.
Well, Jonathan's got a question for you, Win. How many goals has Wilson scored this season?
None. Has he?
Man. He scored once, I think.
The one, I think.
Yeah, there you go. I think
That was in the cup, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's how the win. He won at 10.
Yeah.
So you got 9 more to go, man. 4 games left.
He's never getting 10. He
didn't
even get 5.
He might not even get 10 minutes, never mind.
The thing is, I said I was expecting him to get games because I thought Isak was made of glass.
Tell you what,
now Isak's playing, but the trouble is, it would appear he's playing sometimes when he's not fit, and that's obviously affecting.
But that's up to the gaffer, though. That's not up to him.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't get the minutes, you can't score the goal.
16 minutes for Sula was better than Wilson in the last 10 games.
Oh, he was, man. He's cooking you. He's cooking you, Win. He's cooking you, man. He's cooking you, man. No. Admit when you're wrong. Just admit.
What did I say at the start of the show? The very start of the show.
No, so say I've been wrong about what I said earlier this season. Say it.
I've been proven to be wrong what I said earlier in this season. Because he hasn't had the minutes that I thought he would get.
Who's the twat?
I was wrong about Eddie. So
no, you weren't. You weren't wrong. You pointed out what happened every time after the games. Now, whether if he made a mistake, he fixed the mistakes. Then that's on him. That's good.
I still think he's second half team talk. There's something wrong every time.
Yeah.
Maybe you should leave it to Jason.
Yeah.
There we go. Steve, by the way, says Gordon is better player, plain and simple. Barnes is better goal scorer. You use both depending on form and opposition.
Well, me and Win said something.
That's what's going to happen next season.
Put them both in a blender.
Nah, that ain't going to work. Like, man, think realistically, man. You're talking about Gordon, for example. Him being in England international and all that. You think he plays. He's going to play, man. I'm telling you. He's not just going to be it's not going to think what Eddie would do. And Eddie's going to do what his heart does, man. He's got his soft spot for these players. You know that. Now Gordon's lost his place. Could you see him pushing for a move to Liverpool this summer if they come back? Well, that could be. That's an interesting one. That's a good question right there. I mean, he just signed a contract.
I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing if we could get super money for Gordon and get Cunha on the left and
that could probably be a
Bowen on the right for the money.
The problem is though with that is the only problem with that is you're not really getting depth though, which is what we want. You know, you're just swapping players. And
I'd rather keep both.
And that's
that's not costing anything. That's self-financing. So we've still got the money to spend on improving.
Yeah,
Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool will go for him anyway. They've got 6.
No, I don't think
up front. 6 or 7 even up front.
All right. So, those are some of the comments there. Greetings, everyone. Let me see who else is saying something. Paul Gold says, the way Murphy's playing, I'd take a chance on his twin Josh in similar form. As there you go.
We got the right one. Yeah,
absolutely.
We got the right one.
By the way, there was a lot of speculation when he first came and wasn't performing before Eddie got a hold
and we got the right one.
that would got signed the wrong one by mistake.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy? Look, if they actually wanted to do that, wouldn't it be crazy if they actually planned to listen, man, you're gonna go there. Could they get away with it? I mean, they literally look the same. That is unbelievable. But anyways, so thank you so much for the kind support. Thank you for watching the show today. Great show, good stuff. Tomorrow, NUFC Undisputed between Mighty Win and Jefferson. Is Eddie Howe our best ever manager? Well, Mighty Win thinks he is, and Jefferson thinks he's not. So we're going to get into that. Good conversation. We might go back in time and see what each one of them have said or just mention it. So we'll have a good debate. But join us tomorrow at 9:30. And, yeah, we got a lot of good shows. Wednesday's show is about
millions of players
that we're going to be buying. Apparently, everybody's saying that Newcastle is preparing for a big summer. So we'll get into that, of course. And there you go. Best ever manager, Steve McLaren. Yeah, man. Everything going to be
sandwich.
Yeah, man. Anyways, folks, thank you so much. Thank you. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We will see you tomorrow night on NUFC Talk TV.
Hoof the twat.
There you go.